teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85. We the Bears, monsters of the Midway. Knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85.
Take a look, Chicago, you can smell it in the air. There's a hungry team called Soldier Field going nuts, jumping out they chair. Teams rather be anywhere but here. We don't care if it's below zero. Let it dump for the snow, we still gon' break those. If we win the point flip, we choosing to kick. Cause we gotta do this, that love to hit. Polarize the link with our smash boundaries. Slicing up teams like Mike Singletary. Forever repping the seat, making Papa Bear proud. Giving Chicago something to shout about.
We the Bears, monsters of the Midway.
And welcome to the Panda and Grizzly Show. I'm Bryon the Grizzly here with Martin, and I'm going to start the show right away. I owe Martin a shot.
Oh, we're doing that right now?
I'm doing it right now because I'm getting it out the way because.
But it's not the morning spike though.
I'll do it then. But I feel like it was the Bears Bills. You got your Bills shirt on, and they whooped my ass. And
I mean, fair enough, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I said it wasn't going to be that close. And you were convinced. I'm like,
look, we were fine for a long time. And then all of a sudden, the talent level just came back. And they were like, oh, yeah, you ain't got talent. And we do. That's kind of what happened. Well, yeah. That went unexpectedly terrible.
Then I guess if you want to go ahead and take it, go ahead and take it.
For my Bears fans, unfortunately, I was wrong. Oh well.
There you go. Did you eat dinner yet?
Yeah.
You did? It still went that hard?
That's moonshine, man. It'll never go out easy.
Oh, I don't drink that crap. I know. No, that ain't me, man. No.
Sorry,
not my cup of tea, not what I'm doing. So how was your Christmas, man?
Man, it was actually wonderful. The girls got everything they wanted, and I got real broke. And I realized that when I started seeing the presents, I was like, man, when do we get that? But who got them that too? And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh, I understand what's going on. My wife.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's a real nice present. That looks expensive as hell. Just, okay, all right. I guess what we're gonna do then.
That's hilarious.
How was yours, man?
It was good. It was good. We hung out at the house. My grandpa came into town. We went to go see him at my aunt's. So, basically stayed the night there, and we drank some, and learned a lot. I found out that my grandpa was volunteered for the military for a year so my family moved from Spain and to Mexico before we came to America.
What?
Yeah, so we're Spaniards, but we migrated to Mexico. And I guess he went to school there and everything, but there was a draft during the time of like the whole issue of California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. All that was still owned by Mexico. If you remember our history through America, we didn't own that yet until recently.
We annexed that stuff. It was totally Mexico for a long time.
Yeah. Recently, I would mention recently within the last, century. Like for me, I feel like when it comes to history, that's kind of recent. Yeah. So as a country, we took over that. But during that time, he had volunteered because he knew it was coming, and he's like, I'm just gonna jump down. I learned that. I'm like, that's really freaking cool, man.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't know that. He was there for a whole year, and that's why it wasn't really a big thing. Like, I'm like, yeah, I was out by the time I was 19 years old. I was like, oh, he's like, but I did it. It's just nothing, nothing too crazy. I was like, oh, all right.
I'm like, sign me up. That's what I'm talking about. I would have did a lot more if I know it could be a 1 year commitment. because I was supposed to go to Naval Academy. They came in my sophomore and junior year before I was supposed to talk to everybody, and I was going to get your letter from your state senator and all the other crap. But I was going to go play football, and my uncle had previously went to Naval Academy, and he got kicked out because he went from 6'4" to 7 feet. What? And he just told, and they told him you couldn't fit on the sub. So
you're too tall, man.
So he ended up going to George Washington the next year. But yeah, I was going, crazy. But it's the 5-year commitment afterwards that got me.
Yeah, no, things changed. Now it's 8, kind of like, well, it's not a 5-year automatic. It's like if they need you, you'll get called back to fulfill a whole 8. You can do 4, get out, but if they call you, you are obligated to come back until you hit 8 years. If you served any 8 years or after that, they can't touch you. What is going on with my green screen right now? I'm having issues. Oh yeah, it's tilting.
That's what you get for whooping our ass like that. That's, you know what, you and your Josh Allen, F you guys. I mean, really,
he is the man. I keep telling you this. He is the man.
We Josh were doing fine. We were leading at halftime, and then at halftime, Josh Allen went in, took his Michael secret stuff, squared a couple of squirts in him, came back out and said, I got you guys. And that was it. All she wrote. Literally went that way.
That's why I didn't understand what Vegas was talking about when it came to -9. I'm like, there's no way. That is too easy. And I'm not trying to be mean, but I know this is your show, but I don't care. Like it's just too easy.
I mean, if you watch the game, I thought that we were still going to cover, because even deep into the fourth quarter, it was still a 7-point game with us driving.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, once again, it doesn't, when you have a talent discrepancy, that's what it came down to.
Right.
They ran the ball down our throats, and Singletary ran the ball down our throats, and our DBs did fine. Your receivers didn't kill us. It definitely was everything to do with Josh Allen being able to run and the running backs be able to run. And every time he ran, I was like, man,
hey, look, man,
motherfucker's big as hell.
He is. He's a moose, man. He's a moose. You can't stop him. He is 6'5", 240. Like that dude is
I don't know if he's 240, man. I saw him.
I know he's up there, man.
He's up there. He's
at least 230. At least a minimum. He's 237. Round that up. That's 240.
I could see him being 245. Like he's just so big and powerful. Like the way he's running is powerful. And I just, man.
Can you believe this is only his 4th year in? Can you believe this?
Though.
This is only his 4th year in. Like
I believe he's going to get better. I honestly believe he's going to get better.
I think so. By the time he hits about 7 years, I think he's going to be. Dude, I don't know, but I'm expecting. Look. I don't want to talk too much Bills. Like my jersey's probably already annoying you enough.
Not at all. Because you know what? Honestly, when I looked at the game, I realized Justin Fields hurt his shoulder in the second quarter, and then I realized we weren't going to run the ball. Once he's not able to run the ball, we ain't got shit else. That was it. So just feels like I'm not running the ball. We're like, well, dude, we have nothing.
You know, for a second there, I thought Montgomery might have done a little bit better. It looked a little promising at the beginning.
But it's always with that threat of Justin. So what they did, they ran this defense, which is great. So they still had their 5 down linemen, and then they had their spy. But the spy, once Justin didn't run the ball, became another rusher, a delayed rusher.
Yeah.
Which is genius. Honestly, a delayed rusher when you have no wide receiver like talent on the other side, it's perfect. It's a perfect defense. It was smart. It was genius. I give it up to the Bills. It was just the perfect thing to do when you know they can't beat you 1-on-1. Let me just throw someone in late.
Yeah.
So that's how we got ass whooped. But that's the story, and whatever.
Yeah. I'm sorry that you came in high as hell on them, and I was like, well, we'll find out.
At the halftime, I was like, oh yeah, we doing this. And then literally second half, they went, damn it. What was that?
Yeah. So So what it was, it turned about 30, 32, 17, right? 35, 13. My
No,
bad.
yeah, 35,
35,
13. Yeah,
13.
yeah.
With that, it was
It just ran that fourth
yeah.
quarter. They scored like 21 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, pushing the Bills to 12-3, and you guys are now 3-12.
Yep. And you know what?
So
I didn't want to win the game. I don't want. I think I labeled this episode. Should we win? Is it better to win or lose?
at this point, it's okay to lose.
I think
At
it's
this point,
better
it's
to
okay
lose.
to lose.
You don't want to jeopardize your chance of getting the first or second draft.
You guys
pick.
are already at the number 2 spot.
But literally, if the Texas win a game and we lose, keep on losing throughout, we have a chance at number 1.
Well, that's true, and then end up being what was it, a T-Law discrepancy from what happened last year.
Exactly.
You know how good the Jets would be right now if they didn't mess that game up and T-Law would be there? Do you know how good the Jets
With
would be
all
right
that
now?
talent they have over there, they have so much talent. If they didn't Zach Wilson it, just that should be a new verb.
It was
Zach Wilson.
It was that game 2 years ago that they messed up and they beat. Was it the Jet? No, they beat Houston. They beat somebody.
Houston. I think they beat Houston.
They
and
shouldn't have
didn't
won
have
that
to.
game.
Yeah.
And it was the only game they won, and that was the only game that put them on top, giving the Jags the opportunity to draft Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
It was the stupidest thing they've ever done.
Well, you know
And
what?
honestly,
This will be all nothing if they just didn't do the stupid thing and take Zach Wilson because he looked really good doing a reverse pivot and throwing the ball down the field 50 yards.
But you know that happens.
And in combine, I was like, it's a combine.
That happens. We get that all the time, and I'm like, no. This is why when I think about certain players, like right now, nobody's talking about Bryce Young. I feel like he just disappeared.
Well, no, Bryce
I'm still strong on Bryce Young. I feel like, but some people are saying CJ Stroud now. Some people are saying Will
might be
Levis.
the best ready. Well, what's his name? Mel Kiper has Will Levis as the number 1 player overall.
See, that's no.
I think that's stupid. I think that's
too high. That's too high.
But I think part of that is because of what's going on in Arizona. I think that's kind of because of Kyler. Seeing the small quarterback, because he's slight frame, seeing what he's doing. It has nothing to do with his talent.
But
Kyler Murray's talent is amazing. He has amazing talent. He's not a leader. And he spends too much time doing video games right now. He's got to grow up.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like overall though, it was just, I was watching the game, and at that halftime, I'm like, okay, maybe they have a chance, but then I was like, nah. Eventually, I just kind of turned it off, or I just switched games, and it was just like, nah, it's too easy.
Can you imagine if the Jets took Justin Fields? What would be different?
Oh yeah, if they would have taken anybody. If they would have taken anybody else besides freaking,
because if they would have taken,
I would have been okay with Trey Lance there. Trey Lance would have been a better fit.
Yeah, but Trey Lance once again,
I don't care. Like, I don't care what anybody says about how many games or how many years he's played. Look, the fact is, any rookie that comes in, they're never gonna be elite right off the bat. Most of them are not elite off the bat. It takes some time. It takes about a couple years. I've been saying this for every new QB. What the Falcons did is probably roughly around the right time you put in a rookie towards the end of the season, where none of these games really matter. If you lose them, you lose them. If you win, you win. But at this point, you're still going to have a losing season. You're not going into the playoffs. And I feel like the Bears were in a position where they had no choice, and they had to put Fields in his rookie year. I felt like it was too early, but they did it anyways. And at some point, it was like, okay, you could see the talent. The problem is, and we all know it, is he has nothing around him. And
which I think is going to be rectified. So I got some questions for you about that.
What's up, Alfredo? How are you doing, man?
All right, for him, good morning. Because remember, he's 7 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, where's he in Paris right now?
He's in Paris right now. So it's at 4 a.m. right now. Yeah.
So building off of what I'm seeing in some recent news came out today. And I don't know where you're leading off, but this is what came out today about potential trade. I don't know if that's what you're about to lead on.
I got a couple of potential trades for you. I want to ask you, but I want to hear what you got first.
Well, mine's an actual article I was going to read, so go ahead, shoot yours.
Read it.
Yours.
No, go ahead, go.
Okay,
and
so
then I'll
today,
ask after this because it was just opening up the can of worms for trades.
Okay, so today there was an article I was reading because like we do our Bears show today, so here I am helping you out with your Bears. So I usually do my research more on Bears typically for the week, just specifically for the show. And I'm reading, and on the Bears wire it says the Bears trade back for number 2 pick, landing a wide receiver 1 draft haul in the 2023 pick.
Yep.
And so, Ryan Poles is going to be in a very interesting. I would hate to be him because he has so many decisions to make.
Yeah.
He has, all this money. It could be easy or it could be really difficult. Sometimes having the more money isn't really easy because you now have to make a decision. I think Fredo wants to jump in.
I got him.
Okay. I think it now comes to a decision. I have all these elite talent to make. Who do I want? And how long am I going to have them here for?
Yep.
And this trade that I was reading on today put them in the number 2 spot.
Okay.
And basically the trade was kind of outrageous, but I also see how it makes sense as well. So the trade was to Cincinnati.
Yep. That's one of my things that I had in our hashtag.
Okay. So is it okay if I continue with this? Or
yes, please do.
Okay.
Please do. This is
so
wonderful.
The trade was Bears are moving down. Cincinnati's going up. Obviously, Cincinnati's doing as good as they are. They're somewhere in like the 28th right now.
Yep.
That could change by next week, depending. But as of today, from this article, from what I read, the trade would be T. Higgins, a 2023 first, a 23 second, and a 24 third.
Yep.
So you get 2 picks from this year, a 1 and a second, and a third for next season, which ultimately this is great. And Cincinnati would receive the 2nd overall pick for them. Now, that means the higher caliber team and a high caliber player for Cincinnati. Do I see this happening? Yes and no. I see the 1st and the 2nd, maybe T. Higgins in a 1st, or maybe T. Higgins in a 2nd and a 3rd.
It's T. Higgins. The Bears are going to want a 1st round pick back, and they want the 2nd round because it's at the end of the 2nd round.
Right.
And
I feel like some of these picks are going to be removed. But if that actually happens, it would put them in a very better position with Mooney, Claypool, and Higgins.
Yep.
And they could still look into the draft of getting someone fresh and put him into the system. Now, I'm glad that they learned, it seems like, that Velus Jones is not the answer. We've said it. Everybody said it, that it was the dumbest pick ever.
It was.
They went ahead and did it.
Yeah.
And so
that's what worries me. That's what worries me because I don't know, with all this draft capital we can get from this pick, can Ryan Poles deliver? That's hard. Yeah. I don't know.
So I'm looking at this trade. I'm like, I think it's too much, but I can see T. Higgins a 1st and a 3rd. Not so much the 2nd.
So
maybe T. Higgins in a 1st and swap the 1sts with T. Higgins. That I could see more than likely. The 2 1st swap with the T. Higgins. That I can see.
The reason when I was reading the article, I read the same article you did. The reason is because of the whole chart that they have that Bill Parcells has. There's a chart of how valuable the 2nd pick is versus any of the 1st round pick. In order to get that 1st round pick, then you need to send 2 1st rounds, a 2nd and a 2nd and a 3rd to get that to switch those picks. So using that chart, that's what you're doing because that's what all GMs now do. They all use that same chart, the same Bill Parcells thing. That's where they came up with that answer. The only thing I can see is that them possibly saying no 4th. But if I was the Bears, I would take a 1st, a 2nd, and T. Higgins because now you have your number 1 wide receiver problem taken care of.
And ironically, which is weird, is last week. What's up, Fredo? Last week we talked about, or someone had mentioned, if T. Higgins were to go anywhere,
Would he be
Remember
a
this
number one wide
conversation?
receiver?
Where would he be at? And I mentioned that the Bears would be one of them.
I said that too because I brought it up because that's what I was thinking about T. Higgins. So T. Higgins, I would take that trade in a second because now
T. Higgins would be the number one. And then we were
he's
getting, and the argument was now or later, and
it doesn't
I
matter.
was
He's
looking
young.
at it now.
And he's young. So T. Higgins is still young. You have a number one who's still got 2 years before he's 29. You got Claypool, who come back and be your three. Mooney, who's your two. Now your wide receiver room is, and you keep Byron Pringle. Now your wide receiver room is actually respectable.
Yeah.
And without you spending a whole hell of a lot of money. It was genius. I thought that was a great idea. But I also wonder if the Bears are willing to do that and give up that opportunity to get that unbelievable pass rusher. Or do you want to trade somewhere around the 14-15 range and get Smith and Jigba?
And that's a possibility too.
Yeah, because you could get more. You could get a mid-team and still get you a second, and then probably a third for next year.
Right.
Those are
I don't know how much time Fredo has, but
yeah. So that's Fredo. How's it from Paris, man?
It's good, man. It's fun. I saw the Eiffel Tower. Did not really take pictures. It was like a block or two away, but yeah, tomorrow I'm planning on going over there, and yeah, it's pretty good over here, man. It's the language barrier. A lot of people speak English. A lot of people are very polite and kind, surprisingly. Yeah, I like the trade though. I really do. My only question is, I don't think the Bears are going to keep Claypool. However, because
he's there.
Well,
I think they do.
No, because I thought he had like a year and a half left.
Yeah, so you have another year still of him without having to pay him.
Right.
Doing anything.
So I think they're going to probably trade him or later during the season before the trade deadline. Or if they do keep him, they're going to let him go, really. But Claypool is a person that they will possibly trade because he has value. And I think Mooney, I don't know what's Mooney's contract like, but Mooney, Higgins, and Claypool alone, I think it's a three-headed monster. Everybody wants the ball, right? Except for Mooney.
But you know who's going to be your first, number one, number two, and number three. That's pretty definitive.
Right.
Who's what. But also with the trade, in the article they also talk about Mooney is going to get resigned. Mooney's getting resigned. Jaden Johnson's going to get resigned, and they're going to keep the safety. This what's his name?
Yeah, the resigning part of the defense, I'm not concerned right now. I'm more discussing more the right receiver role because I like the Higgins trade. I think it'd be a step up. I really do.
Higgins is going to have 80 receptions this year and over 1,000 yards, right? Like in the next week. He has 73 receptions right now. He has over 1,000 yards. He's already shown he could be a number one wide receiver. He's young. So yeah. We all know he could be a number one receiver because right now he's being overshadowed by the other guy, the second-year guy. Jamar Chase.
Yeah. So we all know what he could do. I mean, it's without a doubt. And I think it's would be a popular, good trade. I just will hate to see Claypool probably throw some negativity because if I'm not mistaken, Claypool has a somewhat of Antonio Brown.
Yeah, a little bit. He's not that bad, but I think he has something.
Antonio Brown.
No, that's too much.
I'm not saying he's exactly like him. I'm saying his attitude is something ish.
He's got a mouth. He's got a mouth. He wears his expressions on his sleeve very well. And he's not scared to express it.
Right.
So no, I see what you're saying.
Here's my thing about that
they
whole
go to
thing,
a draft for a receiver. They should still do that.
Regardless. I think once you trade down, now you look at defensive end or edge rusher.
I know that. I'm not saying like right away. I'm just saying like somewhere in there.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Round 4 or something.
No, I'm thinking round 2. If you have 2 first rounders, you probably still have to go and ask for another second. Address it the second round.
Because I feel like any of these receivers have a potential of making like this class is special. This class is a lot better than last class, skills wise.
I think the top is better. The top is better. I think is deeper last year, but the top level of this class is much better than it was last class.
By far.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Before I know Higgins already put himself out there, do you think anybody in this class can be just like, if not maybe a little bit better than Higgins?
It'll take time. I don't think anyone's
no rookie right away. Yeah. Look, it like even this year, like Chris Olave is probably the #1 receiver rookie that coming out. Like I think, in my opinion,
Olave and then followed by Garrett Wilson.
Right. But the thing is, it wasn't like we have been spoiled for the last couple seasons, and this is not normal. For the last 3 seasons, we had JJ last year, then the year before that was Jamar, and then the year before that was freaking Devontae Smith.
And you got
not Devontae Smith, but it was I can't even remember the order.
Jefferson.
But those I said JJ. It's like you don't. That's not normal.
Yeah.
You don't get that often. And then now we see JJ clearly just broke Randy Moss's record recently.
That boy is unstoppable.
and that's the thing. Like you don't see that. So it's a very rare occasion right now that we're seeing, and it's very special and happy for the Vikings. You know, they got their guy to replace Thielen, because Thielen, look, we all love Thielen, but the problem is,
it's just what it is.
And that's the thing. And they landed with JJ. So good for them. Do I see anybody as special as T. Higgins in here? A possibility. I do, but it's not going to happen like right away. It's going to happen like maybe towards the back end of it. Like I'm still waiting on Treylon Burks, and we started to see a little bit of emergence from him. But the problem is Malik Willis also has to prove to that point.
Exactly.
And I think it's that connection for them both is not going to happen until maybe a month or two into next season.
I think
it's going to be weird.
They're going to miss the playoffs. I really believe Jacksonville is going to chase them down and is going to make it to that. It's going to win the division.
Henry's down. I am excited for Haskins. And I'm not trying to talk about too much other teams. I'm trying to focus on the Bears, and I'm sorry, but I'm just comparing.
No, I mean,
to what
that's fine, man.
What we do. It's real. Look, this episode is like the hardest one for me. I can't talk about
because football. You kind of go. You go for one thing, the other. But I do want to. Before we get too far, I do want to ask you one other question. So I know how much you hate D-Hop. Would it be better?
I don't hate him. I just see him like coming towards the end of his career here soon.
So can you imagine the Bears trading a 3rd rounder to get D-Hop?
Why?
Or a 2nd rounder
Why
to get
would
D-Hop?
that is the stupidest move you could ever
now, because now you don't have to give up you don't have to give up any of your top draft picks. Now, if you say, let's say you did this, you trade D-Hop, right? You trade down, still getting Jigba, get another 2nd round, and get a 2nd round the next year, where you could package up to go try to get Marvin Harrison in a year. So you have a stopgap #1 for this year. It was actually on the radio.
Year, like
but this is something that was talked about. If D-Hop is there for a year, it increases your. I mean, he's still only 29 years old. Increases your wide receiver room. You still can keep pick someone very high. Still get Smith and Jigba, and you could possibly get your left tackle taken care of.
I mean, if they're gonna get rid of D-Hop, D-Hop's rep is pretty high, and he's known for game situations. However, I think if it's going to be a 3rd, it's going to be a 3rd and 5, or a 3rd this year and a 3rd next year, or something like that.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Because I think just a 3rd. I think just a 3rd.
Arizona's ready to cut ties.
I think the 3rd is probably a good time. To be honest, Fredo. These guys get older, and then the NFL notices this, and this is when you actually start thinking about. Like, we only got rid of Julio for a freaking 6th. Julio Jones.
And
I was mad about that because I told them, I was thinking
they should have done it a year earlier. They should have did it a year earlier. And they would have got
that was
a 2nd
thing.
Or late 1st or 2nd.
Yeah. In a single season that changed, and that's why I think that you can get a 3rd. For Diablo, that's maximum of what you're gonna get, because there is the lingering hamstring that follows him, and this is why I think that it's gonna be weird that it's just I don't know.
But see that's my thing about it. So a 3rd rounder, because it allows you now to have a #1 receiver and protect your asset and show what a #1 receiver could do, but it's a short-term fix. This is not a long-term thing, and
It's
also
like a
allows you to
Claypool
get,
trade.
but it allows you to get rid of Chase Claypool at the end of the year, and maybe move D-Hop into your 3 if you could get a number 1 in that draft now because you got draft capital to use.
I'm not trying to tank. I'm not. I'm just looking at reality. I'm really not trying to. I'm just being real.
I think when you're a GM, you have to have multiple ideas. You have to say, if this doesn't work, then we're going to do this. If this does work, then we're going to do this. So though T. Higgins would be number 1 on my list, I think you need to think about next year too. You say, okay, so what if I want Harrison Jr.? What can I do to get that?
If it's between the 2 trades of D-Hop, if that's even possible, or T. Higgins, if that's even possible.
I think
honestly,
T. Higgins and D-Hop are possible because they can't pay T. Higgins. That's the problem.
Well, if anything, I go with D-Hop, just for the simple fact that we still have our 1 and 2 picks.
No, I still say in that situation, you still trade your number 1. You're still trading down because what you're doing, you're trading your number 1. Can you imagine possibly trading to someone like who needs a quarterback? What if Atlanta doesn't like Ritter? What if Atlanta? What if
even get rid of their number
too
1?
Soon? It's too soon for Ritter.
Or even get rid of
or New Orleans needs a quarterback.
Or even get rid of their number 1. Or even get rid of their number 1 for next year's number 1 and number 3 or something crazy like that.
I'm saying we're going to switch. Give you our number 2 for wherever spot you are, which is probably in the teens, and I want your next year's number 1 and number 2.
And I think that's likely what's going to happen. I don't think you guys go after Will Anderson. Like now that I'm looking at more and more.
You trade down.
No, yeah, no, and we've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks because as the year progresses, like you guys are lingering the same spot where it comes to the draft, and you just keep getting worse and worse and worse. And I feel like you guys are at the best point where you guys are going to be at. Again, we said unless Houston wins, the Bears would now become in that position to get the 101. But I still see you guys drafting out of that spot later. So again, I'm actually here, and I'm as we were talking, I'm doing a draft simulator. This is really freaking early. Like I don't do this, but because of the Bears are in a specific situation that they seem to be locked in the top 5.
Yeah. There's no
way. I got offered 2 trades already.
Martin, you're awesome, man, because you're on the show talking about a team you really don't want to hear.
No, I absolutely
I love you, man. I love you. You're awesome.
No, you have no idea. No. I have to sit here and listen to him every week. He hates our opening. He hates all of it. But you know what? He's the man, and because he does that, and he lets me tease him in his own show, then we'll accept him.
Yeah. So thanks a lot, Martin. I love you for doing this, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I'm sitting here while we're talking about whatever. I got offered hour 102 for the Vikings 5-1. Okay. Next year's 2, next year's 4, and it looks like next year's 1st as well. So round 1, round 2, round 4, all next season, and this year's
and you switch
the 5th pick. So you're getting 2 firsts, a 2nd, and a 4th.
That's basically what you get, though. Even think about the Cincinnati trade. That's basically what you're getting. You're getting T. Higgins, which is the 1st, and you're getting their pick, which is another 1st. So you're getting 2 firsts, a 2nd, and a 4th. That's basically what the package is.
Or the other one was from the Ravens, and you got all from next year, none from this year, all next year. You get Ravens' 1st round draft pick, the 3rd, the 6th, and the 7th.
Nope.
Okay. So that's easy. No. Now, so you're taking the Vikings straight.
Yeah.
So you move down 3 spots, you get an extra 1st, a 2nd for or you get a 1st for next year, 2nd next year, and a 4th next year.
And you know
you're
why?
Accepting that, or are you drafting Will Anderson?
No, you accept it if that's the best offer. Because I also have to remember
that is the best
San Francisco got 3 firsts for the quarterback that they wanted. It depends on who falls to you. And if someone is in love with CJ Stroud, because I'm assuming Bryce Young is off the board. If someone's in love with CJ Stroud and they are afraid that the third pick team was going to draft a quarterback, they will give you a king's ransom. And that's what you have to look for, that king's ransom offer. And things I look at, what if the Jets want that? The Jets have so much young talent on their team. They're like, look, we'll swap first this year. We'll give you our first next year. We'll give you our second next year. And we'll give you a third this year. You know, do you take that? That's possible. What if Carolina says the same type of thing? You know, these are options because Carolina could be bad next year and bad enough that you have a high pick plus your pick and you package that to try to go get your Marvin Harrison Jr. So I'm just saying those are all options. All right. Police officer coming for you, man?
No, I'm just in the lighting. That looked crazy. Yes, I'm in my room now.
They're knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right.
So, wow. Yeah.
I just think that those are options that you actually have now. You can grab these guys, and you can get a king's ransom and do what Philly did, do what San Francisco did, do what these teams that got all this capital, what the Jets did, and now you have more of a chance to do it right. And
didn't
really
Dolphins do something like that?
The
Was
Dolphins
it
did
last
do
year, 2
something
years
like
ago?
that. They did it in the last 2 seasons. They've been doing this. Yes.
And that's how they got all that talent, and that's how they're able to go get Tyreek Hill and still get Waddle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm just saying these are options that you do, and that's what you really need to be looking for if you're the Bears. And I'm just saying trade has to be right. And if you are worth your salt as a GM, you have to get the best one out of it. You have to do whatever it takes to get the best trade and the most assets from it, because we have a talent deficiency. If I know anything about this, what I saw from this Bills game is that we don't have the talent to stay with these big teams right now. We don't have it on offensive line. We don't have it on defensive line. And we have a whole hell of a lot of holes. And $120 million sounds like a lot of money until you realize it's gone. It goes very quickly. You could get 6 players and not have any money left. So,
those players better be high caliber.
Maybe.
By the end.
How many times do you overpay for somebody and F it up?
Oh, here. I'm in Paris, but I remember one of my scrolls back at home that I have. Yes. Washington Redskins. When they traded for the big nose tackle, paid him all this money. I can't remember his name. It happened, I think.
I remember. It was the Tennessee Titans, I think.
Yes, he was a Tennessee Titan. And then because the Redskins had all this money, put all this money into the defense, the nose tackle, the linebacker, the safety or cornerback or something, and they got nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. The team sucked even worse. So that's my biggest issue. You can have all the money, you have all the capital, you can have all that stuff. But if you pick up the wrong player or wrong players, you're just stuck. You just wasted all that money for nothing.
Yep. Hey, what's up, Marvin? I'm in Indiana, so what?
What is up?
I thought you were working, bro. I thought you were working.
Marvin, how you doing, dude?
I can't remember the guy's name, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I know exactly what you're talking about, but that's your worry. You have to make sure you hammer everything home. You get what you need to get, or you're gonna end up being one of these franchises that linger, at the bottom, and you're gonna lose Justin Fields as soon as he can get out.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to get in today.
I know. Hey, this is what we were talking about. Finally getting some stuff. I want to hear what Marvin has to say about it.
All right. So while you get him in, so we made the trade. I ran it back. I did another one. Then I got a trade from the Steelers, giving us the 116th.
Okay.
So I accepted that one.
I like that.
So we're at the 16th pick. Do you still look for your edge runner or D line or whatever? Here's the top availability.
Okay.
I'm not gonna put CJ Stroud. Obviously, you don't need a quarterback.
Yeah.
You got Joey Porter Jr., Michael
Okay.
Mayer. I think he's still run with Dawson Knox.
Yeah.
Cam Smith is there, another corner out of South Carolina. Broderick Jones, offensive tackle, and Brian Branch, safety. Those are your top guys.
What about Njigba? Is Njigba Smith
Here's
there?
who I'm thinking, who's also kind of floating there, is Jared Verse, edge runner out of Florida State, and Isaiah Foxley, also another edge runner out of Notre Dame. And Njigba, I think, is probably already gone.
He's probably number 12. I'm thinking usually.
Thing is, I can't see what already. Oh wait, can I see it? Yes, I did. Njigba got actually drafted from the New England Patriots.
Oh, damn it. Bill
JSN, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yep. Yeah.
Receiver? Yeah, he got drafted 2 picks before we did. And you know what's crazy? This is not the first time I've been seeing Bijan Robinson in the top 15.
I'm surprised about that too.
I've seen Bijan Robinson go to 9th to the Raiders due to some trade. And this simulation I just did right now, he went to Philly. Maybe according to this simulator, Sanders is gone. I don't know. But what do you go here at 116? I mean, we're probably gonna get into this anyways as we could, but just as of now, just from the news that's been coming out, like you guys are locked in top 5. And that's what it seems like. Do you go with Jared Verse or Folkley?
I go, yeah, one of those edge rushers. I'll go.
Right.
You take the high value for that because they're dominant, and you need a first round talent on that first round on your edge rusher. If you do that, you actually can change your entire defensive line with it.
Should I share this?
If you can. What's up, Marvin?
Yo, how you doing, man?
You think those guys at the top are at the talent of like the guys that came out on defensive line the last couple of years with the kid in Detroit and stuff? You think he's that level?
Hutchinson, what's his name?
Hutchinson has a better motor, but talent-wise, there's talent, but Hutchinson just doesn't stop.
Absolutely not. Look, last year's was definitely O-line, D-line players. This year we get more skills guys. We got, receivers, quarterbacks, running backs. As a matter of fact, they're just top heavy here in this year, and it's actually quite the special class. Last year, if a team needed to figure out their line, that
you were taking
last
gambles.
Year was the year to do it.
You're taking gambles this year, so you're going on talent, just talent right now. You don't have anyone who's going to blow you away.
You think that's worth it to keep that pick for one of those guys that's not blowing you away?
It's because when you do this trade, you're getting the first round next year too. So now you're going and thinking, okay, I'm going to take this talent that I have for next year, and I'm going to try to get me my Marvin Harrison Jr. That wide receiver who comes in and is the dude. That's what you're looking for.
You made a point about like Justin leaving when as soon as he can. What's his rookie deal for? Is it 4 years?
So you're going to pick up the 5th year option on Justin Fields. So you still have 3 years of him, and you can franchise him.
But if Justin's being really good, why wouldn't you just keep him and like send him big?
No, I mean, a lot of that has to do with the person's willingness to want to play there more than ever before, right?
Yep.
Somebody doesn't want to play someplace,
Well, not in football, you can hold on to your assets. It's hard for you to force a trade unless your name's Tom Brady. That's really it. You can't just force trades now because they're not going to give away stuff.
Right.
Russell Wilson asked for 3 years. And, thank God we didn't do that.
Yeah, you could probably pull up the clip from our shows last year. Was saying, "Hey, why don't we do this? Why don't we get Russell Wilson?" And then he went to,
if we do that, you're gonna hear me saying nothing but Denver.
Yeah,
I remember saying he's gonna go to Denver.
Yeah, I know.
You are 100%
right
with that.
Right, but all of us were like, "Man, if we had Russell Wilson, that'd be awesome."
And then
look how
it didn't make sense. I get it. It just didn't make sense.
No, I think it didn't make sense when you hired Hackett. When you hired him, you either got Aaron Rodgers or you got the wrong coach. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. You either got Aaron Rodgers or the wrong coach was gotten. And I think we ended up with the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
we'll see what they do,
I
but-
think what happens like before the draft and stuff and everything like that will show what people are thinking. You know, what the way you're gonna go. I don't know. We'll see.
when you go to combine, I think that's where everything changes, and that's where you're going to kind of start to feel. I got the second pick, and you start like doing the Geico commercial. You got to be a little quicker than that, and that's when people are really going to be trying to give you as much as possible. But this has to be Ryan Poe's, symphony, Fifth Symphony. This has to be his Rembrandt. He has to paint a perfect picture and cash in on these picks, because if he doesn't, in 3 years, we're going to be talking about we need a new GM and coach again.
Yeah.
Shit. If he messes this up, probably in 2 years.
Well, it's when you move into Arlington Heights. I think that's when you're going to be like, all right, thanks. Don't let that door hit you on the way out. Whatever.
Yeah.
But you have to capitalize on this, and you lose Justin Fields in 4 years. That's basically what you got, 4 years more. So after that, you lose that opportunity and your opportunity to have the franchise quarterback, and it shows that Chicago doesn't deserve to have a franchise quarterback because you didn't capitalize on their opportunity. You can say whatever. I looked at the Bills games; they really capitalized on Josh Allen. You look at what you got Pat Mahomes, but they put things around him. If you have a great quarterback and you don't put things around him, you deserve to lose him. Yeah, that's where we are. But last question, really dealing with the Bears: do we lose these next 2 games on purpose to make sure that we stay in our draft spot?
Of course not. Right.
Okay.
He trying to get his band.
No, I mean, as of right now, where are they picking at?
2.
Second.
Wow.
And I don't even. People be like, oh yeah, they're tanking. No, we're just bad.
No, we're awful. We're awful.
And the
I
last
think you guys
games are
beat
going
Detroit
against.
and
I will
probably
be
lose to Minnesota.
I'll be surprised too, unless they're just not playing people like the last game, which, I don't know.
And
I can see us beat Detroit, unfortunately.
I don't know. That's going to be a good one because Detroit are also in the hunt too, and they're going to be rolling out everything they have to. I mean, these 2 division games, it's either make or break, depending on what you're going to choose or what you're going to decide on because of what they want to do. Because it's in division. Honestly, the Detroit one is going to be weird.
Because they're great at passing the ball. You know what our best thing our defense does? Pass defense. I know it's weird to say, but that's literally our best thing we have is our pass defense.
I don't know. That's like saying the kid that has one leg longer than the other one leg is good at being long. That's not really,
I don't know. No, I think honestly, Kyler Gordon is starting to turn into something that's he's doing well. Jaden Johnson is a professional. He's not a lockdown corner, but he's a professional, good corner. We got some safeties out. Brisker is a dog. Brisker is
none of that matters if we can't rush anybody.
It's very true.
Detroit's offensive line is good. Like
it don't matter. Don't get me wrong. No one's getting to the quarterback that's not named Jaquan Brisker.
Yeah,
he's the only one who's going to be able to get to the quarterback. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, they got him sitting back there looking like he's, Dan Marino or something. And we know.
So
Jared Goff is a definite add-on. If you were looking for the waiver wire from this week and you're in the championship game and you lost your Jalen Hurts, you're looking for Jared Goff. Jared Goff's gonna go off.
Yeah.
The question is, does he score touchdowns?
Now, you think?
I think he will.
You think?
Okay.
So do you think the Bears are going to lose the next 2 games?
I think they're going to keep it close and then intentionally not go for the win.
I think they lose against. Yeah, I don't know. This next
Justin.
I don't know.
Justin might not even play against Minnesota. They pulled Justin just to make sure that they don't accidentally win that game, and put Nathan Peterman in there to tell him, "Hey, go get him, Tiger."
They could win this next one and then lose just to keep the Lions out, just to be jerks and keep them out of the playoffs, and then lose to Minnesota because they are basically already in. And that's what I see more than likely. Just to be jerks, I think they beat Detroit and then lose to Minnesota. Because even if they beat Minnesota, they'd still probably make it, regardless that they're so high in the seed. So
I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears were close. Like the game was like a 7-point game, and they pulled all their starters just to make sure they don't win the Detroit game. Like you don't learn how to win, but they've competed with a lot of talented teams. Detroit, no matter what you want to say, is very talented. But I think the Bears can compete with them. And if you show you can compete, and you just don't want to win the game, you don't want to win the game because it hurts you more than it helps you.
Yeah, I don't want to be the Jets. You know, they won that.
That's exactly what Martin said. Exactly what he said over there.
Yeah, but I don't think that's even it. They're not going to be competitive on the defensive line against Detroit's offensive line. As soon as we all saw them pick, Sewell, we were like, ooh, that's scary. And it's exactly what it said that it was. Their guys they've done a good job, Detroit, of building an offensive line, and the guys started playing together. And Sewell is nasty, and there's nothing you can. Else.
Honestly, the Detroit Lions' offensive line is ranked in the middle.
Okay,
it's not ranked in the top 10. I was surprised when I saw this. I thought that there would be a top 10 or two.
I don't believe it. Where are they at in sacks given up?
Oh yeah, the bottom. Because golf does not get sacked that often.
Their rushing attack has been kind of inconsistent, probably. And Jared Goff has 12 rushing yards, so
I think we're all at this end of the season going to have to apologize to Mark, like I've already done, because he's the one who's like, Detroit's going to win. We're going to win 10 games. They might not win 10, but they might win 9. It's a chance.
I agree with what you're saying, because I remember we were talking about. I'm like, I'll give you I said 6 for sure.
We were clowning him. He's already surpassed what we all said. I feel like.
Yeah.
I said 6 for sure. Maybe 8 the highest. I remember saying that, but this man swung for the fences and said 10.
And it looks like it's good.
It's a possibility.
Like the long bets that we made with him. Did anybody wrote down?
No, we didn't. We don't have
nobody did that. No, it was just on Dynasty Pylon. We were just talking about it, and Brian was in there.
Yeah.
And we were just like,
because
the thing is, Mark was making fun of Brian. Brian was making fun of Mark because he was saying, which Mark he should have bet you on that, because he totally beat you on that, on both of them.
And you know what? And it's funny. I was so happy. I was like, when they were 1-6, I was like, I was right.
You were also high as hell saying that the Bears were gonna do immaculate, and we're like, no. But you were the only one saying how great they were gonna do. And I was like, well, just let him have his little glory. As we got closer to the season,
great to 7.
This man's soul
great to 7 or 8.
And it was so hilarious.
Yeah, he said I'm ready to get everybody too. So
what'd you say? We can hear you.
I can't hear him.
I said that you got to give Brian a little bit of leeway. He said that before everybody got traded and stuff. So,
we did trade our entire team away.
Right. Everybody a lot of people on defense was still there. So,
No, they picked a lane. That's why I don't complain. They picked a lane and they went with it. So I'm not here to complain. I'm not here to worry about it. I already told Mark he was right. I was wrong. I have no problem with it. I'm okay. I'm okay with where we are now. I want us to compete with Detroit. I want us to compete with Minnesota. I don't want us to win either of the games. And I want us to either have the number 1 or number 2 pick, and it's a trade and get a king's ransom. And if we could do that, that would be best for the Bears. It'll be best for us next year. It'll be best for us for the years coming forward. And we could be the Eagles next year. They had 2 picks, and then we do well, and then come back the next year and you still have another high draft pick. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I feel like the measuring stick is going to be like us drafting and how well Seattle drafts with all they picks that they got from.
Oh man.
Like they've got a lot of stuff for the free right now with their tackles they got that they not paying, and stuff, and then all the draft picks they got. I'm interested to see what they doing. I don't even know what their GM's name is, but like he's got
GM of the year just because.
right, got a lot of stuff to deal with too. But he's got some studs or some holes that I mean they got Geno Smith looking good.
Yeah. So just to transition away from the Bears a little bit, I want to ask you guys a question about the Seattle Seahawks. Do they get rid of Geno Smith?
No. Why would you?
I would.
Because he's Geno Smith.
Yeah, and I'm drafting a quarterback.
I think they draft the quarterback.
You could draft the quarterback, but keep Geno there.
Yeah, I agree. They
So
keep Geno there, but they draft somebody to stay there, see how well it goes.
I think Geno is a free agent, guys. So that's why I asked.
Well, if he's a free agent, then he should get the money he deserves. However, other than that, no.
What's up, Braden?
Thank you, the man in the chair. I appreciate it, Braden. But the reason, because I think Geno's going to get the bag. Someone's going to sign Geno to. Can you imagine Indianapolis doing it again?
And they'll be terrible.
I'm just saying Indianapolis is going to Indianapolis. It's possible they do it again. Or New Orleans. Geno Smith is going to make $17, $18 million next year. Someone's going to give it to him.
He shouldn't.
Comeback player of the year, he has it. I think this is what we're going to have.
As long as he doesn't pull what's Nick Foles, how he signs to the Jags with the guaranteed of $83 million, and then gets cut halfway through the season or something.
Oh, that's a Matt Flynn. Can't do a Matt Flynn.
Yeah. Hey, you guys, it's gonna be 4:00 over here, so I gotta get
go
some
to sleep.
Over where?
He's in France.
Oh,
in Paris.
There it is. You want to say it again?
Yeah.
Okay. Like 7.
Fredo live from across the pond. I appreciate you staying awake. You got a lot of stuff to do this next couple of weeks, man. Just enjoy, and I'll definitely talk to you, man.
Eat some cheese or something. I don't know. Was it wine?
Wine and cheese.
Wine and cheese. Yeah. I mean, I got home from a party, and I looked at the time. Oh, it's 3:00, and then I did my math. I'm like, oh shit, the guys are on. So that's why I just jumped on.
Wait, what party are you going to in Paris? Now I'm intrigued about what's going on.
He's going to a wedding too.
Yeah, it's a wedding. It was like
came out as an international drug dealer that you are. What you guys don't know, the next James Bond.
James Bond? No. Well, anyway, that's not it. No.
00 Bristol.
Don't no. It's not 00 nothing. It's like 101. James Bond 101.
Hey,
but all right, guys.
I appreciate you, man. Go get some sleep. You and the girls have a lot of fun. I hope it's a wonderful time. Please let me know what's going on, man.
Yeah, I definitely will. Next week, Tuesday, I'll probably be in Italy. I will contact you guys next week.
God.
Yeah, that's what he does. He's name dropping. He's like, oh yeah, I'll be.
I'm gonna get all those secret documents.
Going to Dubai. He's got some real scrolls.
He'll have Versace on the chat in the room.
All right, guys. Have a good one,
take care, dude.
All right, man.
All right, bye.
I really wish that we had the Kanye and Jay-Z song. Then I realized he wasn't African American.
That might be wrong, but hey, Martin's the man to go to it. He got the music.
Is he? So he's traveling Europe on a wedding.
Yeah, so they're going. No, they're going to France for the wedding. It's in Paris, and then they're going to Italy after they leave there because they're already in Europe.
Yeah, you can get on a train in for 45 minutes and be in the next country.
Yeah. So they're living the dream.
So Martin, question: do you think? And you may have answered this already, and you can tell me to shut up. Why do you think that in the mocks that I've seen that Stroud has dropped so much from the top 3 or so picks?
He's the new Justin Fields.
Yeah, and he's I mean, he's still kind of top 3, I feel, but he's been dropped. It's like
Will Levis, they're in love with Will Levis.
they are. But this is
Yeah.
what happened last year with stupid
Oh.
Wilson.
Yep.
And I was like, why? And Justin Fields dropped. He was like the 5th or 4th one. I'm like, you guys are stupid.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are just denying all what happened through the whole season, how smart he is, how well talented he is. And it's just all it takes is a single game, which is, to me, in my opinion, is not enough. I feel like if you could produce 3 to 4 or 5 games straight with almost averaging good productive numbers, then I'll swing the tilt. But some of these right now, Bryce Young's always been my favorite. Like he's been my favorite from Ohio, and I
There's
still
the
feel
talent.
like,
That's crazy. He's crazy talented. That arm.
yeah. And people are probably gonna dox him on because how short he is.
Mm-hmm.
I
think his hand is over 10 inches, and I think that's what's going to save him.
Right, because he
big
can
ass
sling
hand.
it too. Like, but CJ Stroud might go underneath Will Levis. Anthony Richardson is kind of intriguing to me right now. I don't think he'll get in the top 3.
He's a team.
But he's a no. I mean, out of the 5 quarterbacks that we're hearing,
Mhm.
I don't think he's gonna make top 3. But he is interesting to me. The dude is fast. He's got
Don't you
over
need more than
1,100 rushing
speed?
yards.
But don't you need more than speed? You need speed, and you need arm talent still.
Mhm.
You know, it's one thing I really don't like is when you're in college, you don't look at the teams that you're playing. Go back to the Zach Wilson, Justin Fields thing, right? Justin Fields did the same thing Zach Wilson did in the combine. He did it against Clemson.
Yeah.
So why the hell would you be comparing the two? It doesn't make sense. This is my same thing with Will Levis and CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud did this against Bama. Like, CJ Stroud is playing the best teams every year. Why wouldn't you realize that this guy might be the truth?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like
I think it's just too early to see why he's dropping. Again, they're still playing their bowl games and everything, and things are going to change. Senior Bowls are going to change things up too. It's still kind of too early for just to kind of say why.
I think here's my question for you, though. If CJ Stroud goes and makes it to the championship game, it has a good game, I don't care if it's probably going to be against Michigan if they beat Georgia. It has a good game against Michigan. Does CJ Stroud, can he talk himself into being the number 1 over Bryce Young? Is it any way?
That's a possibility. They do it all the time. And then then we see him go to Houston. In Houston, and they're rolling out anybody right now.
Yeah.
And all they have is freaking General Mills over there. So it's like,
tell Kadani to get out there. He can.
Yeah, Kadani go out there. He'll make some plays. I don't know. The thing is, Houston are gonna draft the best available quarterback, whether it's Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, even Will Levis.
I can see them getting Will Levis and effing it up because that's what they do. They're very good at messing stuff up.
Brandon says Ohio State's haven't exactly come into the league and done anything. I think that's why he's dropping. I think it's a very QB friendly system. I mean,
it's possible. I think I'm comparing him to Justin Fields, but I gotta remember CJ Stroud is nothing like the speed of Justin Fields. He does not run well. No. He has a great arm. He's very accurate, but he's got
like 3,300 yards.
He can
more than say than the other ones.
He can sling it for real, but he's not Justin Fields. He's different.
I think he's beating them all in touchdowns too.
Oh, he's number wise.
Let me see.
He should have won the Heisman.
Yeah, I don't know.
Numbers wise, he should have won.
I don't want to talk about the Heisman. I don't know what the hell that was.
By Alabama quarterbacks before the last one, like they didn't.
I mean, yeah, was until you got to Jalen Hurts.
That's what I said. Until you got to him,
I mean, we still not sold on Tua. Yeah. And what do you guys think about that Tua stuff? Talking about that
I was going to talk about that tomorrow, but
I'm sorry for feeling that, but
no, you're good. You're good. There's a lot of things I want to talk about today, but I'm going to talk about tomorrow. It's
that concussion again. This
scaring
might
me.
be something for real. He might need to retire.
You have to decide life or because at some point this is a long-term thing,
Yeah,
and he's already got 3 in a single season.
and he needs to sue the NFL and whoever
Or
doing
whatever
that.
that first one. That
Yeah.
first one saying it
Mhm.
was a neck injury, and I'm scared for his life at this
Yeah.
point because he's gonna have scrambled eggs for brains if he doesn't, if he keeps pushing through it
Yeah,
and
he gonna
this happens.
end up sounding like Larry Holmes or something. It's the same type of thing boxers get. Oh, I can't, whatever.
He punch drunk. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole.
I worry about him literally for his life, because the last thing the NFL really needs is someone to die on the field. And he has 3 concussions in 6 games. Someone needs to step in there. I don't care if it's Nick Saban and tell him, sit your butt down. Don't do anything else. I know you're looking at the playoffs and saying we want to get to the playoffs, but if you take the wrong hit, it could be over.
Yeah.
That worries
He
me
should have. A lot of it had to do with that first one.
Yep.
That first one, they should have sat him out.
Well,
And
I
then
was
the
listening to the
following
radio.
week he gets another one. And
I was
he
listening to
shouldn't
the
have. He
radio,
shouldn't
and the
have
doctor
played that
said
second
it's
game.
possible that this concussions right now is still stemming from that first one.
Yes. And then he got a second one after literally 4 days later because they played on Sunday and
Played
then
on
they had
Thursday.
Thursday game. 4 days later. That hit should have canceled him out for that week. And you're gonna tell me a man to get up and look like a damn rag doll is an ankle and back issue? You're stupid. I'm not. Look, everybody knew it. 98% of people who watch the NFL are not doctors.
Mm-hmm.
The medical staff and everybody that does, they should have said something. I don't know. I think there's going to be an investigation later on in the season. We never heard anything about it yet. They said there was going to be one, but we never heard a final of it yet.
Didn't they fire the head guy for them though?
Yeah, but it's supposed to be an independent doctor. That's the point of having an independent doctor. You know what we're going to find out? All those independent doctors, the NFL's in their pocket. They still work for the NFL, and they're going to do whatever the NFL tells you to do. And this is all going to come out. I think this is going to be a problem.
Oh, it is going to be a problem. I think it will.
It's almost like it should be a person from the board of health or something like that for that state that's in charge of those competitions. You know what I mean? They don't have anything to do with it, but hey, look, this is a dangerous thing, and we need to make sure people are okay. And we don't have anything to do with the NFL at all, and this is just part of our job.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree.
But I think we talked about this before. I said the NFL in 25 years is going to be flag football. It's going to be more like flag football and less like the NFL we see now. They're going to take the hitting totally out of the game.
Did you see Derwin James think it was 1987?
And they upset about the flag. What?
All right. In that hit, he should have never done. One, I want to blame both sides of the ball. Okay. Nick Foles was leaving his guys out to dry, and that's what pisses me more off. He did it to Jackson on a screenplay. That was the very first one. Mm-hmm. And he got lit up. The second one was Doolin, and then he did it again to Michael Pittman later in the game. And I by the time I saw that one, I couldn't watch it. It was making me so mad, and nothing makes me more mad than a QB letting his pass catchers out to dry. And he was doing that all game, and I don't understand why. It's because his last probably game he'll ever play. Maybe, I don't know, but it was just upsetting to see that at that level, at that caliber, that you should not be doing those type of throws and leaving them to get hit like that. Derwin James, probably shouldn't have made that hit. That aggressive. He knew the consequences was going to happen, but he still went with it. I mean, I'm pretty sure he could have pushed him with his hands.
Yeah,
and he still
didn't have to
down.
launch. He didn't have to launch his way into his. I mean, it was so dirty of a play. It didn't make any sense. But I agree. Nick Foles has been a problem. There's a reason why he hasn't played, guys. This is what I'm saying. There's a reason why he doesn't play, and why his team doesn't trust him.
No,
that's just not. It's not okay. I don't know.
Look, the Colts need to draft. They need to stop for the love of God. Just stop getting these old, busted quarterbacks that all their youth was used in the previous teams, and then you bring them in and thinking they're going to have the same attributes. They're not. They just know it's a new system. You can't do like they're going to go. If they don't draft a QB, then I'm going to think that they tanking the season again.
I was going to say, we're going to see come in next season where we're like, look at the Colts' new quarterback, Cam Newton.
No, Baker or somebody. If they can go with somebody young, but they just got to stop using these old dudes. Like,
hey, Baker would be a perfect.
I could see Baker going there.
He's still young. That makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised if Baker goes to Miami though.
I don't know. There's going to be a lot. We got to figure out what's going on with Miami first before they actually do all that. Saints, I think, are going to be looking into something. The Colts, Panthers. Who else? Potentially.
Jets?
I think they roll with Mike White. I think they finally realized that Mike White is the key to their answer.
I think they're still going to look for someone in the draft. You heard that they're not going to have Zach Wilson come back. He is not going to be back on the active roster the rest of the season.
That's what I think they finally realized. It took them this freaking long, 2 seasons. Like, hello, this guy was a beast when he first got there. Yeah, he had his little thumb injury, which caused him his forearm to tighten up, so he couldn't play. And then he came back this season, did what he needed to do. Like, just give the man his respect and play him. Like,
I think he's
better
Kirk
than
Cousins.
all the quarterbacks you got there.
I think he's Kirk Cousins. Mike
yeah,
White
but it's
Kirk
still
Cousins.
better than the crap they got back there. Like, I agree. Let him do his thing.
But we have that much talent. Don't you want to go try to hit that home run? The Jets are still the Jets. Though they've gotten all that talent, I still feel like they want that home run. It's still New York. They still want that big guy. I think the Jets are going to do something stupid and trade for someone like Will Levis. And it's going to go what? It's
O-line, but that's just me.
But
again,
what have
like
they
you
done
said, the Jets aren't that smart, and they do stupid things, so they probably won't get an O-line like they should. Because I think they're at the top 10 pick right now.
Yep. They
should invest in an O-line like a tackle, but they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They're just as bad as the damn Packers. And the Packers, the whole world knows what they need, and yet they don't do what they need to do.
Yeah, but you don't think like Christian Watson's success is going to stop them from doing that again?
Romeo Dobbs and next year they're going to
that's what upsets me the most.
Those guys,
is how well that these two are doing in a later round. And they're like, oh, well, we just proved the whole world wrong that we know what we're doing. Like, y'all just got lucky, all right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to see them do it next year. I want to see them do it next year. I don't think they can.
No. And they need to start utilizing A.J. Dillon more. They need it. Like, look, I don't even want to talk about the Packers. Like,
I was like A.J. Dillon
I'm
was
hating
killing.
the Packers as much as you guys are hating the Packers.
Hey,
I just can't.
Yeah. I can't
stand their organization.
I agree.
What is up, Michael? How are you?
Oh, you did too? Yeah, I saw Michael too. Sorry.
How are you, man?
What's up, man? What's going on, Michael? Hey, so I do want to say, guys, so we're doing that DraftKings. We're doing you have your teams, the draft. I see we have the website right here, but I want you guys, if you get a chance, come join. You select the team, and we're playing for $2, and winner takes all. So I mean, it's gonna be fun.
There was only 4 people that won. I took second last week.
I was in third only because Tank was so bad it didn't matter what I did.
Tank is I don't know. Tank
we can't say anything because in the Guillotine League, it's Tank against Mark.
So lucky though. I don't even want to talk about both. You know what's upset me? The Guillotine League, both him and Mark, multiple weeks missed waiver wire completely, and yet here we are sitting with both of them. Like, what are you doing, man? I'll try. Hey, it's all good. Look, you
Hey,
can't
don't
make
worry
me
about it,
angry.
Michael.
Get the hell. Look, you've been lurking this whole time, and you just decided to say something now.
Mark, man, I
I
can't
hope Mark
believe
wins. I really do. Because here's what's going to happen. If Tank wins, it's well deserved that he earned the number 3 Dynasty Pylon jersey. Mark, if you win, I'm telling you, my friend, you're going to save us some money or you're buying the jersey yourself.
Mark says, trust the process.
I hope so. Save us some money and keep some money in our pockets. And then we'll roll out the number 3 for somebody
what's
else.
gonna make you real
Unless
mad?
you want to buy it yourself and you get your number 3. But I'm not paying for it because you and I are the are hosts to that show. So I'm not doing that. Unless
You'll be
want
real
the number
mad
3.
when Tank wins and I get one of his jerseys. He's like, "Hey, bro, you can wear this. It won't be mine because it's his jersey, but he's gonna let me wear it one of these days. I'm gonna jump on Dynasty Pylon wearing the jersey,
and I'm gonna shit on it because that's not an earned jersey. The 3 is the 00 was a gift.
Hey,
the 3 is
that's how much you know. It's all right.
No.
It's all right.
Don't act like you earned anything, bro.
I told you I'm coming on with a t-shirt and a jersey. I'm literally
wear
coming on with a jersey.
But it ain't gonna be a jersey.
And tell me, we're gonna retire your jersey, your football jersey in the rafters sometime soon. It's happening.
No,
it's happening. All I gotta do, I'm gonna talk to Sandy. She's gonna send me a little copy of your jersey.
You haven't gotten one yet, and people out there already have theirs, and you don't.
That's all right. That's all right. I'm like fine wine. I get better with age.
Stupid.
All right, Boone's Farm.
It's how Boone's Farm. You get me from Walmart, guys. I'm great. $2 a bottle. That's what I do.
Also, how about Trace taking Tom Brady? All right, look, I watched him, and he is the most inaccurate guy I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, Michael, I don't like saying this. I thought Trace McSorley, I thought he was throwing the ball left-handed.
He had that one big bomb, and then Michael comes into Discord. He's like, how about Trace McSorley? I'm like, bro, stop. Like, get out of here. You waited till like the 3rd quarter. No, but the whole game.
He didn't want to say it that rest of the time.
Or he was throwing under him. He is bad. He needs time. And the thing is, I have a feeling he's not going to be back there enough in order to do it. They're going to swap him out next season. He's only got 2 more games left. If he does correct himself, it's going to be in these next 2 games. But next season, he's back on the bench.
Hey, just like Braden said, sad when you can't even hit D-Hop. D-Hop was like this. The ball's like...
No, at his feet. At his
bouncing up. All right.
it was. Look, Michael, I know. I said this before. Some guys just can't transition into the NFL. It's going to take time, and he's not going to have it. You know who also took Tom Brady to OT? Matt Ryan.
Oh, boy.
Look, man.
Wow.
He's coming for you, man. Point here.
He's coming for you. That's what it is.
He's a Trace McSorley fan, and I get it. Look, I've accepted my fate that Matt Ryan sucks this year, and he just doesn't have it anymore. But that's still my quarterback because I've watched him for years, and I would love to meet him and get his autograph with his jersey on, and that'd be cool. I even have his Indy jersey, man. But the thing is, man. I know and I accept the fact that he is what he is, and it's sad to see Tom Brady go down,
and gone.
Big Ben go down, Matt Ryan go down. We're witnessing Rodgers go down, and he's in denial, but he just keeps doing miracles. You see it happening, but it's like Trace McSorley is gonna need time.
You get that Matt Ryan Colts jersey from Dollar General.
No, it was a Stitch one. That's my guy, man.
And that's where they sell his authentic jerseys.
Yeah, no, he was like, Matt, you want a Matt Ryan one? I'll charge you 33 cents.
Actually, so when I put my order in, it was a 2-for-1. So I bought the Michael Parsons.
I'm sure the Matt Ryan was free.
Yeah, no, it was. I got my Michael Parsons ones and my Michael Pittman one.
What color did you get, Michael Parsons?
The gray, the gray one.
I like that one too.
So yeah, it wasn't like too blue, too silver, too white. You know what I mean? Like it was the off gray one. I'm like,
I got the black. I got the black one with the gold lettering. It's so nice.
Oh, nice.
I really enjoy
nice.
it.
You should wear it. I've never seen it before.
I'll wear it tomorrow.
All right.
Because we're talking about IDP, so I'll do it tomorrow.
Right. We haven't even hit waivers, and nobody's asked about it. But if we could talk about it,
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now, waivers right now. If you roll with what you got, if you really need desperately,
If you need something, there's only 3 people that you should even think about picking up. One is Cam Akers. Cam Akers, if you see him out there and he ain't doing nothing, you ain't got nothing on running back, or Cam Akers is the man and he's gonna get the ball a lot. That's it. Okay.
And he's gonna play.
That's all you ask for. You know?
yeah, Matt Ryan is in prime. Was so good. You got bench for Nick Foles. Yeah. That's the thing.
It's all right. I almost feel like they should bring back Matt Ryan again. Like, nah, we were wrong. We're just kidding.
It happens. Also, I won my fantasy week. This week I'm in the finals. Hell yeah. Let's go. That's what's up. I'm so happy for you.
Martin, are you in any finals?
I don't think so. I think I got knocked out this week slightly. Let me look. No, I think I lost them all. This week I made it, and then it happens.
That happens.
But you know what, Michael? I'm glad. Like, I'm not saying I'm responsible, but I know at least 1 or 2 of those weeks I helped you out, and I'm so glad that you're in your finals, man. That makes me feel good. That does. He lost. Yeah, and that in your league that don't even count. Stupid weird league. Mark, I'm not doing that league no more. I hate NFL.com. It's the stupidest app I've ever I can't.
He just came in to just get you. Mark is the Sandy today. That's all.
No, and you know what though? In that league, I've been helping Sandy so much that she's in the Super Bowl.
What?
I put more focus on her. I'm like, look,
that means you
gonna do one and done, and that's it. And we were never going to fantasy football because like there was a lot of things where she's like, what do I do? And she would ask me this on Monday. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I thought I was gonna lose this week, but my Chargers came back. No, you lost.
No, you lost to my mom and Red Dead. You
lost to Red Dead. The one that I'm also gonna quit too. It's funny that all these ones I don't really care about, I'm just losing.
I mean, it's hard. Marvin, how many are you in any finals?
No, I am not. Parenthood has taken me out of fantasy football. I also have missed multiple waiver wires. Like I had a streak of like 4 waiver wire. Like I didn't pick up anybody, and it was good people to pick up. Like Brian picked up some of the people that like I dropped that I was going to pick back up again. About this. This has been quite the worst fantasy year for me yet. Yep.
Hey, thank you, Michael. That's awesome. That's wonderful. Let me go ahead and hit these ones I'm saying. Gardner Minshew is definitely someone you need to look at. He did exactly what I thought he was going to do. He
took it.
Yeah, I mean, he was killing it. I was loving it. And so he's available still in most of your leagues. So Gardner Minshew might be someone I'll look at. What do you think about what's his name? The one, what's his name? Oh, Jahan Dotson, right? He has been looking like a number 1 receiver.
He's my number 1 pick this week. Over everybody right now. If like one, he shouldn't even be there, to be honest, because he should have been picked up earlier.
He's only rostered in 40% of the leagues.
People dropped him, man.
Yeah. So he's still available everywhere.
That's
and
awesome,
there.
man.
And do you know that Carson Wentz is starting again?
Yeah. I know. No, you're right, Braden. You're right. Both myself and Brian didn't have faith in him.
Oh no, yeah, I was right next to you. I was going on that handbag too, but I didn't believe it.
Hey, look, I'm not always right, man. Like I just didn't believe it. I mean, he still had for highlighting this. Are you happy now?
Dude, he also had 2 interceptions. It's not like he was like, Jesus over there.
Points, though. He put up 30.
Yeah, you put a good offensive line with somebody. A lot of people can do stuff. You're not getting hit in the face.
Hey,
that's like rule number 1 for football. Don't get hit in the face.
Word.
Yes, he does, Michael. Yes, he does. I just I feel like Jahan Dotson's going to be the number one guy.
He is. Even with McLaurin there, Jahan Dotson is going to be your number one guy from now on.
And look, Cole McCoy should be back this week. It was from what they were saying. Also, Braden also mentioned that as well. Greg Dortch I'm kind of looking at. Isaiah Hodgins I'm looking at. If running back, look, I don't care who the Falcons are up against, but they seem to like Tyler Algier, which is great.
Boy, he's going to be their starting running back soon.
He already
if you're
is.
In the finals, I just don't see you needing that running back help.
He's putting I know. You should probably already beat, but I mean, if you have a running back who's just like not cutting it for you, I don't know.
You look
Tyler
at
Algier is up there.
Algier, Zach Moss, Cam Akers, and Hassan Haskins. Those are the guys that when you're looking at running back. That's what you're looking for. Those are only 4 that are even worth even having on your team. But you're probably not doing any of it because you probably should ride with the people that you got. Unless you got an injury, there's no need for that.
Yeah, no,
it's possible you have Derrick Henry hurt or something like that. That he's
that's
not
what I'm
sure
saying. Maybe Algier would probably be the best because they just seem to be giving him the ball. And Braden, yes, I mean, I was wrong. I was wrong. There's about 2 players I know for sure that I'm going to highlight this week or this season, and at the end of the season, we're going to talk about it during the therapy episodes, and that's Hopkins and Minshew. Maybe not even Minshew because it was only 1 week, but
we got to see what happens next week because
I don't think
Jalen is not going to play this next week. If Gardner Minshew goes out and F's it up, then we all know Jalen gets his money.
A little bit better.
But if Gardner Minshew goes out and blows it away again, Jalen might not get his money. He might not get an extension. Even though he's been MVP worthy this entire season, he might not get his money.
No, they'll do it. They'll do it, man. They have to. He's their guy.
Lamar.
Guy. Everybody's been fading him the last 2 seasons. I'm like, look, you just got to wait for these QBs to do it at least 3 years in their teams and then figure it out.
Hey, this is a good question for Michael. I want you just to look at this and tell me what you think.
Should I start Lamar over Kirk Cousins? No.
I don't think so.
Going against Green Bay defense, I will go Kirk Cousins all day. And you want to know why? It goes back to the Gridiron Heights episode 3 weeks ago. Because it's like, hey, this is so easy. And Justin Jefferson is like carrying them the whole way. That's what's going on. As long as JJ's there, you go with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. I think they're going to increase that volume, not that they can very much, to try to get that record. I think they're going to try to push to get Justin that record for the most yards. He only 240 yards. He's had a couple.
Increase it?
Yeah. So,
I
mean, he's been getting 140, 130, 150 yards.
How many 100-yard games has he had back to back? It's been at least like 3.
The answer is yes.
No. And the thing is, I think they're going to push it. Look, overall, look at the weapons. Lamar comes back from his injury, whatever. I'm not going to trust it because Kirk Cousins has a better floor of weapons. Like Hawkinson was on fire. JJ was on fire. And if those 2 guys are being doubled, well, guess what? Thielen's right there.
Right.
I know he hasn't been looking
doing his
thing. But Thielen can still make something out of it.
Thielen's not just because Justin Jefferson is amazing doesn't make Thielen bad. He's better than a lot of number 2s in the league. He is, and all he does is catches touchdowns too. That's still his thing, is to catch touchdowns in the end zone. Hey, it's 1st and goal from the 9. Adam Thielen.
And you're facing JJ.
Ooh, yeah,
it sucks, man. But at least some of those points can be,
help you out a little bit. So this season,
canceled, except for the PPR though. That's why
you're
PPR, man. I can't. That's why.
So we've had 16 games this season right now, right? Because we're week 17. Is that what it is?
Yeah, we're week 17 now.
So Justin Jefferson has only not had 100 yards in 4 games. 5. I'm sorry, 5. He had 98 against Arizona. So besides those 5, he's had over 100 yards in every other game. And here, listen to some of these totals: 184, 147, 154, 115, 193, 107, 193 again. 139, 223, 123, 133. This dude is effing amazing.
Better than Randy Moss.
Better than who? Randy Moss? He's different.
Still too early.
Yeah, he's different.
Yeah, he's different.
Different. Randy Moss is the second greatest receiver I've ever seen. So I can't say he's better than Randy Moss, but he's going towards that.
Hey, he's better than what's the guy that the Eagles picked?
Rager?
Yeah.
Jalen can. And you know what's funny? Jalen is there witnessing all of this. He's sitting right next to him, witnessing all of this. He goes, "That's the man. I got drafted before him."
They thought I was better.
I got picked before he did.
That's all he. Stupid.
All right, I want plastic, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, but Michael, I think you stick with Kirk Cousins. Yes, despite the fact that you're facing Justin Jefferson, a lot of those yards are going to get canceled out, so that might actually ease the blow. The problem is PPR. Every catch that he has will put the point ahead of you.
Think about it. He has 99. I
hope he gets like 3 catches for 275 yards.
Yes. And then the 275 you both share, so it just cancels out.
Right.
The only thing he has is three points above you. That's it, man. And that's the best way I'm gonna look at it. I'm sorry, but hey, you're in the big game. That's Super Bowl, man. And I'm just curious, Michael. What do you guys? What is your league offering?
Look at that.
You got like a trophy, a belt, ring, cash? Like, we know your last place, and that is horrible.
So Justin Fields, Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson, Jalen Waddle, Everett, Devontae Smith, Buffalo defense, and Tyler Bass.
That sounds like a championship team.
You're going to be in trouble because Justin Fields against Detroit this week now. Justin Fields is going to score 40 points. And then JJ is going to score that. And then Jalen Waddle might go off too.
He might.
Justin
50-yard touchdown run.
Yeah.
Look, that sounds like a championship team to me. But then also I know you have a championship team as well. So look, the best teams, that they face off at the end. I want to don't you have Derrick Henry or you had him now? I'm not saying go get Haskins.
Because Derrick Henry might still.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think he will. I really don't think I just don't think he will.
He's just questionable right now.
I don't think he will. That hip might bother him, and he's gonna re-aggravate it or something. I don't think he will. And I'm not saying go get Hassan Haskins. I'm excited for Haskins, to be honest. This is his debut. I'm excited how well. Like, I know it's against Dallas. I'm interested in what he does. That way, I know to see what we expect out of him. If he gets like a good 20-yarder out of a carry and trucks a dude or two, I'm gonna like that. And that's all I need to actually evaluate how well he's gonna do in the NFL. Because he's like a mini Henry. He's only
what do you expect from Derrick Henry? Do you think he plays this game?
If he plays this game,
do you think he's going to play?
No. I said no. I don't think he will. No.
Are they still in the top of the division?
Yes.
Yeah, but with this
just
loss,
barely.
They lost. There's too many injuries on both sides of the ball. They're not going to be able to push through.
They lose and the Jaguars win. The Jaguars jump ahead of them.
Yeah.
So winner gets $800. Second place gets $200.
That's not bad at all.
Well, it looks like you got your money back, right? If worst case scenario,
you got your money. Yeah.
So congratulations, Michael.
In PPR, Derrick Henry is still a must start. In standard leagues, I will grab Haskins and have him as my handcuff.
Doing that anyway.
I would
PPR. You can have better options. You can have other options.
You grab Haskins, but you don't play him.
Right. Yeah. You keep him just in case some BS happens.
Yes.
There's plenty of people that on your team in championship week that you're not going to play anyway.
The problem is this is a Thursday game.
Yeah. That's why I don't think Henry's going to play.
That's the first game. That's better than being Monday.
No, Thursday it's hard. So you trying to decide on your running back one, you might have better options. And you have to figure out on Thursday.
What I'm saying is that if he's got Henry, he gets wait for the decision.
So Jacksonville is in first right now. So I thought they lost 6 in a row, so I could believe that.
What about Stevenson? Oh yeah, I mean he's a smash play, I think.
Over Haskins.
You got Houston.
Yeah, would you go? Yeah, would you go?
Or not Houston. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, the Jaguars are tied, but they're tied, you know.
Anyway, the same thing. Tied or in second place, they need to win.
Yeah.
So they're gonna do whatever they can. That was what I was trying to get at. Like, is the pressure on them to do something to try to stay in it? And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
So
he had 3 points last week. Yeah, that's hard.
But Miami's also a different defense where they just kind of like allow it. I think he gets double digits this week. But last time they played Miami was week 1. And at that point, they weren't even sure if he was going to be the main guy. They were still running Harris.
And remember, if Tua doesn't play, Miami's a different team. Miami's a different team without Tua.
Like morale-wise, because that has nothing to do with their defense.
No, I'm talking about more. So look at the other guy's team. He has Jalen Waddle. So Jalen Waddle's not as explosive now.
Yeah.
If you worry about
Sweaty
Miami,
Teddy can get it somewhat done. He doesn't have the arm like Tua, but
he doesn't have the arm like Tua.
Every time Tua, well, I don't know. They both don't have They both don't have a great arm, but Tua does have a strong arm. But what you do know is Miami is 0-2 when Tua's not there. As soon as he left that game, even with the concussions, they went downhill fast. Because Tua, he's a 1-2-3 first read, get the ball out his hand. If Tua doesn't play, Waddle's it might be someone you can't play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't have to worry about that, though. That's his problem. We're
talking
about
Stevenson. He might be good.
I'm okay with playing
He might be lucky.
I'm okay with playing Stevenson. Like, you look, Logan Wilson is a very good linebacker. And that's why I feel like that's why Stevenson didn't do anything. Logan Wilson is low-key one of the best linebackers in the league, in my opinion.
That's hard to say. There's so many good linebackers in the game.
Yeah, but he is one of the best, in my opinion. I say he's one of the best. And people don't really know a lot about him because they just look at defense Cincinnati as a whole. But he's the man back there. And I feel like that's why Stevenson didn't do as good. He shut him down. Shut him down. He had 13 attempts, only got 30 yards.
But that's 13 attempts is telling you the team kind of got away from the running the ball.
Yeah. I think he goes back to, I mean, he's going to get double digit. I say it's fine with Stevenson. I'd roll out with Stevenson. Also, did you hear about J.J. Watt? Yeah, I was going to talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that tomorrow, so I didn't want to go there.
Yeah, but we did, though, Michael. We did. There's a lot that I'm going to be talking about tomorrow because today I try to focus more on what the Bears do and what they like. We didn't even
get to half the stuff that we were talking about.
Yeah. I mean, even like, look, real quick, IDP waiver wire. Like, I'm just gonna run it real fast. Like, it's on Reddick, Joshua Sweat, and JJ Watt if you need it. Those three are your good defensive linemen. And as a matter of fact, I think Hassan Reddick is /LB as well.
Yes, he is.
And then I've been saying Devin Lloyd. He's still like 12% home, so he should be out there. Jalen Smith, I like. And then my boy Christian Harris has finally done 3 weeks of decency there in Houston, and I like him. I think he's going to be.
Would you start him?
He's been putting up double digits. It's just like Jack Sanborn. It took me a little bit. I'm figuring it out. Okay, double digits. Yeah. All right, you know what? Go in. Yeah. And he got me double digits. Then he got hurt. Yes, I think you do. And nobody knows who Christian Harris is. He's only 1% owned. I think it's
people in Houston don't know who that is. I mean, not Houston. Jacksonville doesn't know who that is. Right?
No.
Yeah.
Look, he had like 5 solos, assists, and interception, 2 pass deflection the last week. So, but if you don't believe in a rookie going into your playoffs, I mean, Nicholas Morrow might be
That's Nick
pretty
Morrow's the
decent.
one I'm going with right now. I think Morrow, Detroit, he's going to make all the plays, all the running plays. So Detroit's going to run the damn ball. He's going to make all the tackles.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's one guy that I think you could. Luke Masterson as well, out of freaking Las Vegas.
Yep.
So there's a couple of banged up injuries there, and then I'm just going real quick. Mike Edwards, Tampa Bay, freaking Javon Holland and Eric Rowe. So Miami, both those Miami defensive guys, I'm gonna go with. I feel like the reason I picked both of them is because if Tua is not like the whole situation with the quarterback back there, it's gonna be a different offense. So which means that the defense is gonna be out there more.
Okay.
So opportunity is key. So just pick one of the safeties. But yeah, I mean, for those who actually stuck
what
around.
about someone like Jaquan Brisker? Because I'm just thinking with Detroit throws the ball so much, you know, and you have a lot of guys out there.
Yeah, he's also, I think, probably good
you think
spots.
he's
I just not as good as like, you know, Eric Rowe. I feel like is probably a good decent, because they don't look. Miami's New England likes to throw with mac and cheese. Like
they like to dink and dunk and
so
yeah.
I don't know, like, but I also feel like my favorite one is Mike Edwards. He's been doing pretty good this season, but they're against Carolina.
Yeah.
And they're not doing so hot. But if they cover DJ Moore, then he's gonna get himself tackles. But
because Chuba Hubbard's gonna get the ball a lot. And who's the first string guy? I don't know why I'm blanking on his name right now.
Who?
For Carolina.
Running back?
Yeah,
Hilliard?
Hilliard. Yeah.
Foreman.
Devonta Foreman. Because he killed this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that means they're gonna run the ball. I think they can run the ball a lot.
Yeah. Like we saw what James Conner did. I think he'll put up the same amount of numbers. But I mean, it's overall though. If you're looking into waiver wire, it's only because of injuries. You're not really you're gonna stick with your alphas.
Yeah.
Unless the matchup is just absolutely horrible and nobody, like, what you're gonna do is if they're absolutely against someone like a bad matchup, you look at that defense on how well that position they did against that defense. If they stop the last 3 running backs, then I wouldn't feel comfortable putting your running back against that same defense if they did it to 3 other guys, and then they're gonna about to do the same to yours. That makes sense.
Do you pull them out? Like, if let's say this is your guy, Saquon Barkley.
I mean, you could throw him in the flex, but it's not like it's gonna be. You're not gonna feel comfortable about it.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I definitely can understand that. I had one question. Last thing for us: who wins the division? Does Tampa Bay hold off Carolina?
Yes. Tom Brady has like this.
What's the last 2 games for each?
So Carolina plays Tampa Bay this coming up week.
Yeah.
I don't know what the last game is, but I know Tampa Bay win. If Tampa Bay wins, aren't they in the driver's seat?
So Tampa Bay has my bad. Carolina has Tampa Bay and New Orleans.
And who is
in Tampa Bay
has Carolina and
they have Carolina and that's a good question. I don't know who the hell the last one is. They got Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Here's my thing. If whoever wins this game probably is in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Because think about it, if Carolina wins, so now they win the series. They've won them last, and they're the tied record. They're tied at the top for 7-9. If Carolina wins, they're tied at the top for 7-9.
Atlanta and New Orleans, the harder matchup the following week.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Atlanta's going to beat Tampa Bay the last week.
Oh, wow.
They should have won that first game. They should have won that first game because of Tom Brady's, magic.
Even with your quarterback, Desmond Ridder? Is
that sack that wasn't a sack, and they ruled it as a foul.
Yeah.
That right there changed it. They should have won that game. And Atlanta's better. I think they are defensively.
And they run the ball better. They have two guys that can run the damn ball.
I think they're out. I think this is the one game they're going to really go hard on because it's the last one. And Desmond Ridder already has a few games under his belt that he's now going to figure his situation out.
Hey, Tampa Bay's defense is not that good, man.
They're good when they want to be, but sometimes they're just like teddy bears.
Oh.
I don't understand it, but they are good. They just when they want to be.
I don't know. I think I can definitely see the Panthers coming back. I can't believe that it's possible we have the Panthers and the Lions both in the playoffs after starting 1-6. Can you believe that? That's just like NFL. Who knows what the hell's going on in this damn league? No one.
This is why NFL is so crazy, man. Like, you don't know. It's been a weird year. But then I've been saying that for the last 3 years, and it's just been weird. You never know what to expect.
I mean, the top is still the top. Like, we know one of these 5 teams is going to win the Super Bowl, right? Detroit is not going to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be the Chiefs, the Bills, the Eagles, potentially the Cowboys.
The Cowboys, I guess, yeah.
But
would you be surprised if the Cowboys lost to somebody in the first round?
No, that's what they do.
I wouldn't.
They go to the second round. They can't get past the second round.
I could see if Tampa Bay gets in, Tampa Bay beating the Cowboys.
Yeah. Dak will find a way to jag it.
Yeah, that's something happens always. I feel like they should win a lot more games, but
especially with Zeke doing as well as he's doing this year. They have 2 running backs that are number 1 running backs.
Why Zeke is doing good this year? Because Tony Pollard, they're giving him more carries.
And Zeke is not getting beat
less
up.
on his body. Yeah,
exactly.
Not getting beat up. And he still has talent.
He's part-time lover. Stevie Wonder.
So, but other than that, though, like I'm looking at those guys both offensively, and it's just you kind of go with your guns. You gotta have with even though the matchup might be bad. Like if you're in the higher 20s, I think that's fine. If you're hitting you're against the best defense, like maybe you might consider throwing somebody else in rather than throwing them against the best defense of whatever that position might be.
Mm-hmm.
Because then they might not produce. Because unless it's Mike Evans, like honestly, like that man, I really thought that maybe this would have been the week.
Mike Evans thought it was the week too, and then he realized Tom Brady can't get him the ball.
Yeah, I feel bad. I really hope Monique still made it wherever she's at. Hopefully she comes back Sunday or Monday or whatever.
Well, hopefully she'll be here tomorrow, and we'll ask her.
I hope so. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, but I ain't got anything else. Marv, you got anything?
Happy holidays.
So comforting, man.
You're welcome. Let me say again. Happy holidays from the Panda and Grizzly Show.
Bam.
Sound white. Do it.
Doing it tomorrow. I'm coming on with that. All right, guys. Like I say, thank you to Michael. Thank you to Mark coming in. Braden, always the man in the chair. I appreciate you. Fredo coming in from all the way overseas. Marvin being on right now.
Live from Indiana.
And Martin live from Arizona in all the heat. I appreciate you. But you're going to have to deal with our outro. Too bad. See ya.
We the Bears, monsters of the Midway, knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85. We the Bears, monsters. monsters up the midway, knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in the eyes, can't stop our drive.